So you want to overcome performance anxiety. First, make sure you go back and watch the previous video in order to fully understand what performance anxiety is and the primary tools and strategies for overcoming it. If you're looking for more practical solutions, you're in luck. In this clip from a full-length interview, Dr. Kristina Driskill, performance anxiety expert, breaks down just a few more practical solutions for how to overcome performance anxiety.
Are there any other practical things? You mentioned slowing down the breathing. I know you and I have talked about power poses before.
Oh yeah, power poses. There's a if you want to have your students watch a video on that, there's a video by Amy Cuddy where that study was done. It's a TED Talk. You know, anything that brings you into a higher level of awareness and mindfulness for yourself. Focusing as opposed to being distracted before you have to do something. A lot of people think that one of the ways that they can get over it is to talk to a bunch of people and to, you know, kind of run around and busy themselves. But that actually ends up kind of taking your mental capacity and spreading it in a bunch of different directions with a bunch of different stimuli. And so if you can find methods to allow yourself to focus, you probably remember the picture of PhelpsFace, the one where he was prepping for one of his relays. And there's actually a video of this that's really kind of fascinating to watch, because in the video, he's got headphones on and he's kind of just sitting there and he is just laser focused. He's listening to music. It's kind of getting him kind of hyped up in the zone, and he is just laser focused, just eye wise, like toward the ground. And there's swimmers like kind of like moving around. Some of them actually kind of get in his space, almost like an intimidating kind of thing. It's really, and he's just sitting in the chair. He doesn't look at them. He doesn't, like, it's not of any interest to him what other people are doing. And so it was interesting to see that, like, the person who was at the top was not the person who was talking to other people and trying to, you know, busy themselves and try to like intimidate or trying to play these mental games and stuff with other people. It was the person who was really sitting down, found the way to effectively focus for himself and to stay in the right mindset for what he needed to focus on when it came to execution. So that's a big part of it, you know, doing the prep work in a way that works for you. People learn in different ways. People learn at different speeds and different modalities. So you have to figure out what works for you and then create a plan based on that, right? Then, you know, before you do something, you need to have, you know, effective coping strategies, methods in place, you know, to give yourself the best opportunity. Focusing like that, breathing techniques, gross motor movement. It really depends on what what you experience. There's no one size fits all, because not everybody experiences things in the same way. Right. If your brain races, you know, if you have racing thoughts and your brain's racing, then you need to either like count to yourself very slowly, or give yourself, if you tend to get distracted, give yourself, you know, 1 to 2 things to focus on. Like if you try to think like, okay, I need to be musical and I need to keep the rhythm steady and I need to like do, like if you have this big list going in your head, it's not, most of the time people can't keep all that in their head. Then keep 1, maybe 2 things. Yeah. So if I was sight reading, like for me, it would be just like, keep a steady tempo. Mm-hmm. Like that's it. Go slowly. That would be it. Like go slowly, because the tendency would be, you know, for many people to go too fast and they get ahead of themselves. Right. For me, when I would perform, I mean, even when I was performing, you know, professionally and doing stuff all over the world, you know, the only thing I would think about, because I'd done all the other work, you know, I made sure that I had done all the other work, because the only thing I focused on was breath. That's it, period. How I took inhalation. Because if that was in the right place, the rest was fine. So I didn't worry about like what my phrasing was like and what my words were and how I was going to interpret it and how it was going to look and whether or not I was going to do this here or do that, what the languages were, the high notes. I'd done all that work to ensure that when I was in the moment, because I would get nervous, I was in the moment, the only thing that I need to focus on is breath. Yeah. And so that ensured that, you know, performances I was doing were successful, because I could rely on the one thing that was going to make or break, you know, what happened after until the next one.
Yeah.
But that's different for everybody. That's what it was for me. It might be something, something else for someone else.
Right.
With over 20 years of performance experience and research, Dr. Kristina Driskill is an expert on performance anxiety and how the brain works. She holds a Doctor of Musical Arts degree, as well as certifications in social emotional arts, business coaching, and money mindset. She's a published author and has built a successful coaching and consulting practice, helping others identify and work through fear-based thoughts and habits. If you want to know more about her, you can check out the description below for more information, as well as links to her website and social media.